Hello, this is George Senda, the real, authentic, official, original, the one, the only, the guy from Pittsburgh. And I pose the question, when is YouTube going to fix their flawed analytics system? And for that matter, when is YouTube going to discard their new studio, which sucks and doesn't work? And maybe the reason why the analytics system is screwed up. Now, people say that I have X number of views, but there's a gap there, a huge gap, a gap bigger than the Grand Canyon. It starts the beginning of 2017 and goes all the way into June 2018, where there are no views. If you look at when you look at the graph on analytics under lifetime, there's a big gray space. And if you click on the lifetime views, it says unable to provide, we're working to fix this. When you click on subscribers, unable to provide, we're working to fix this. When you click on estimated income, unable to provide, we're working to fix this. It's also got a gap for December 18, 2019. And this has been going on for over 5 weeks. The real views that are out there are not the actual views that someone has in their channel. And after 8 years and approaching 1 million views at one point, I'd like to know my real numbers. I'd like to know how much I'm supposedly making. And I wish they'd get rid of this estimated income garbage and actually tell you how much you're really making without having anybody go into AdSense. And the last I looked at was $54. So this has not been repaired, and they keep promoting this new studio, saying how great it is. And I think when they started working on the new studio, they screwed up Classic Studio, and they need to ditch the new studio. It doesn't work. Everybody hates it. And fix Classic Studios. You know what your real views are, how many subscribers you really have, and what your income is. And why they can't fix this in 5 weeks is beyond me. I'm an old software programmer, old software hacker, have built computers and torn them apart and disk drives, keyboards and everything going back to the days of mainframes. Mechanically, I can tear just about anything apart. I can't solder because I never learned how. It's on the list of things to do in 2020. Get a soldering gun and learn how to solder, and I'll probably make a botched mess of it at first. My friend Maroney couldn't solder worth a damn either. And he worked in electronics, but he never got the hang of soldering. So, but maybe I can go to New York one day and meet Louis Strassman, and he can teach me how to solder a motherboard in a MacBook. Anyway, and he got screwed by his contractor, so, which is sad. He didn't do due diligence and relied on looking on Yelp and Google for this guy's history. Shaking my head, like, there's things like the Better Business Bureau and the State Contractors Board. I don't know how they work in New York, but in California they have a Contractors Board, and people have their license pulled, or they have complaints against them, or charges against them, or lawsuits against them, and all that can be found. Louis Rossman should have done that and didn't, and now he's going to have to tear all the work that was done out and start over, and it will cost him thousands of dollars. All right, YouTube, fix your analytics and get rid of this crappy new Coke, new studio, and get rid of the YouTube cheerleaders you've got doing all these videos about kid-friendly, interviewing your president. It's all complete PR shill for YouTube because they've been under fire by Elizabeth Warren and other politicians, and they're afraid they're going to get broken up. And you know what? If you broke up Alphabet, the parent company of YouTube, if you broke up Facebook, if you broke up other companies, it wouldn't be a bad thing at all. Because when they get too big, and Google has gotten too big, they abuse things, and they don't care about the end user, which is the viewer, the customer, and they're just there for one reason and one reason other. Well, actually, they're for more than one reason other than profit. Google wants to monitor everybody. So does Facebook. So does Apple to an extent, but they're not as bad as the other companies. But there is one other issue that there was this video I saw, Apple conspiracy theories that Apple. This guy was saying Apple explained that Apple does not do planned obsolescence for his projects. Well, if you believe that, then I have a MacBook I can sell you, because Apple has done this since the days of the Apple II. They've done software that they never come up with upgrades for, and it's left to hang out in the wind and die. They've done this with hardware. They've done this with cards. They've done this with the Lisa, the Apple II, the Apple II GS, which is allowed to die because of a lawsuit by Apple Music in Britain, who was owned by the Beatles. They've done this with Mac products. They've done this with Newton. They've done this with iPads, iPods, iPhones. Apple's famous for this. And, gluing batteries in, gluing CPUs in that you can't remove, making sure you changing screws. You can't do self-repair, and Apple is fighting the right of self-repair like crazy right now, because they don't want to lose that revenue of making you go to the Genius Bar, and it's a 50-50 split whether you get someone who knows what he's doing and will tell you the real reason why your MacBook or Apple device or computer isn't working, and a presumed reason where they can make $1,000 or $2,000 off of you, and then you find out it still doesn't work, and eventually, after so many tries, they wind up giving you a whole new, brand new computer. And we've seen how that works with the butterfly keyboards, haven't we? And Apple's past battery issues where the batteries would catch on fire, their screens that would scratch, and other issues, and they get continually sued in class action lawsuits. All right, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Have a great night. Stay wet, warm, dry, or cool as the case may be. Rain here late tonight and in Pittsburgh. River Edge, New Jersey will be clear, and Pittsburgh will have showers. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania will have showers on Friday. No rain now. I just went out the door and looked. So it's 47, but we do have, I could sense earlier it was going to get really cold tonight when I went out cat feeding. 30-mile-an-hour wind, 30-knot winds coming off the bay. That means it's going to get really cold tonight, and I'm so glad Mama Cat and Kitten have the little bed and the warming pad, and they'll be warm tonight. Now, all the kitties were fed, and I'm so glad that, Blackie let me pet him full length twice tonight, which is a major step from a cat who was hissing and growling at me 2 or 3 months ago. So Blackie has now accepted me, and another kitty in the fold of the semi-ferals. Even though he has home, but he'll come over and eat the food. And he's a very, very pretty long-haired black cat. So there's another long-haired kitty in the long-haired kitty ranks. All right, that's it for now, but I wish they'd get their act together and stop worrying about the new programs when they've screwed up the old ones, or they're trying to get rid of the old ones to make you use the new ones that don't work. And things like analytics that don't work either. And I don't want to get started with this COPPA nonsense where you've got to click every video. It's not for kids. And because they got sued, so you make every YouTube creator click on not for kids or for kids. And what do I or any YouTube creator have to do out there with someone's children under 13? It's a ridiculous law, and it should be abolished. We have nothing to do with somebody else's children or what they watch, that should be up to the parents, not the federal government. All right, bye-bye for now.